Let's play! Whoa!
Anyway, the sun has sunk. We had to move before it was completely dark. I switched to the other rope I had here and went down to Saranaga. Alright, we made it down, but what was I to do with Miko? Considering the story I made up, I couldn't bring her with me. Alright, I just make her wait. Miko-chan, can you wait for me behind this rock?
Yeah, how long?
2 or 3 hours. You can sleep if you want, but if someone comes, don't come out.
Okay, but I'm hungry.
You can eat anything in that bag there. There's still lots of sweets there. You can't eat them all normally, but I'll let you do it this time, okay?
Bah! Yay!
She ran off, and I turned around. Oh, look, she changed, the sheep changed clothes. You're here? Man, Miss Crazy. Can't see anything, anything 10 steps ahead. Sheep! You said the act's over, didn't ya? Yeah. Sorry for the wait, Mitsuji. Mitsuji? What? Huh? Is that the name of our ex? I am so confused. What the hell are you trying to... Where the hell are you trying to with the act anyway? Well, I thought you missed your ex and tried to chase after me in a weird way, so I figured I'd just ignore you. No point in asking, huh? That's just the kind of guy you are, Haruaki. So you're as good as your word, huh? I'm saying it's a waste of effort. What the hell? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the hell the game's doing at this point. Behind her, there were 3 rubber boats with oars. So, what's next? A group acting all days is gonna come here soon. Tell them something like godlike and keep them safe in some lodging place. The latter part's fine, but what's with the former? Just play along with their superstitions. You know a thing or two about the kind of place this is, right? Yeah, what a pain. Just so you know, you shouldn't act like you did you shouldn't act like you did it as a... Damn, I can't talk. Just so you know, you shouldn't act like you did as a convenience store worker. I was only like that because of you. Not even I'm that unreasonable. So, some kinky stuff, eh? I'll fucking kill ya. Oh boy, they were made for each other, huh? I can ask you about your powers, background, and organization backing you, yeah? Well, we're never meeting each other again, so there's no point, really. That's what you said the first time we broke up, yet here we are. What was that anyway? What, an accident? Yep. That is what I'd like to say, but there's a bond between us and all that. You being serious? Yeah. That's how the world is. There's nothing more reliable than a serious Mitsuji. I'll believe you. And nothing's more unreliable than a serious-looking you. We laughed. Anyway, let's get serious. I'll be caught by the loop's master soon. You were still bearing it? What the hell? Of course I am! I'm working hard to buy you some time! I see. So that's why nothing happened. Thanks. You helped me out a lot. Guess I have all the more reason to hurry. Well, do be careful. It feels all you do recently sent me to my death. Death? Well, you helped me out just now, so I hope that doesn't change. Just go back already. I ain't gonna welcome you, but if you die, I'll have trouble sleeping. Roger that. I'll try to survive. Now that I think about it, your death means game over for all of us, so I really don't need you to say anything. That's mean. Oh well, I'll just go. You killed a god first, huh? Yeah. Now I'll be doing your job. I'll kill the master of the loop. Mission 2. I had to deal with the master of the loop, who wanted the monster's resurrection. This one didn't need as much preparation or acting as the first one. All the info I gathered over the loops was enough to make me certain of by now. I just had to face the person one-on-one and be completely honest. That was easy. But the person was the problem. I'd probably be walking on a fine line here. I had no idea how well my thoroughness, guts, and verbosity would hold up against the enemies. And once the final mystery was revealed, I wasn't sure I'd have what it took to properly retaliate. It was something I'd have to consider at the moment. I had to do it. I'm counting on you, Haruaki. I got up on the cliff again and hid near the graveyard. The mist was dense, so I couldn't see much, but I was used to it, so straining my eyes helped a lot. I soon saw the people of Yasumizu absentmindedly make their way down Saranaga. Everyone besides the old wolf guy was there. Good. After confirming that, I went to the plaza. Ah! He was standing alone in there. You didn't run and go wild? I'm impressed. Huh? It's fine. Drop the act. It's your job, isn't it? Taking care of such escapees, I mean. Wanted to talk to ya. Please stop the act. It'll make things easier. The hell are ya? I can tell you're like me. But it doesn't make sense to think you're with a Miguruma. However... He's putting his hand into his clothes to take out a weapon, surely. Unfortunate for him, I already knew his cards. You destroyed my fortress. I'll get even by killing ya. I'm your disciple. Huh? Well, I won't get into the details, but basically, without you, I couldn't have saved them. I'm saying I'll let you live because of that, you old fart. His eyes were filled with silent anger. Well, the police probably won't know what to think about an incident from 60 years ago. And if you have a change of heart, decide to protect Yasumizu, there's really no problem letting you live. Don't act big with me. The Miguruma will start to crumble. Huh? Nothing will happen today or in any other mist appearance that follows. That means there might be something good in store for this place. Your job in Hideout will be gone. They'll find out about the waterway. And the people of Yasumizu won't ever see you as just senile. What proof do you... You didn't realize? There were two people with guns back there. The one who's not cheating me was aiming at you all this time so they could kill you from up close. You're old. You can only kill people in the mist while wearing a wolf outfit and using the authority of God. If you charge at me, I can easily dodge, get you on the ground, step on you, and kill you. You can only beat me with a surprise attack or by spiking my drink with a numbing drug. But you can't do that now. Even if you stay here, the locals will be wary of you. This is no longer your fortress. Now you either have to bow to them and have them protect you until you die, or call your Tokyo contact and go elsewhere. One of the two. This sure got boring. You had plenty of fun, didn't you? No. I'll have a bit more. Dodge this, youngin'! Okay, here he goes. He raised his blade, took an unexpectedly fast step towards me, then tripped. I told you. Oh, boy. His dagger went through his mouth and into his brain. Well, if Heaven's judgment is slow but sure, then I wanted him to die more painfully. This death doesn't suit a villain like... I mean, that's it? Well, actually, wasn't there a movie or like something like that happened to like one of the characters? Like he slipped and fell on a gun, like the trigger, and like he shot himself. I guess it's not unlikely to happen, but well, there goes him. Which is a good thing. He was an asshole. You know, like, oh, I'm senile. No, you're not. You're dead now because you're an asshole. The grass is tied. Whose prank is this? Oh, whoever it was, they have my thanks. I don't want them to feel guilty, though, so I'll undo it. Anyway, I was satisfied with the result. I thought about this and that, but as long as he was alive, he'd always been a dagger to someone's life, danger to someone's life. That was all he'd done for his whole life. It was best to accept his death for what it was. Leaving his corpse, I went off where I had to. Of course, he wasn't the one in charge of the dream, so he wasn't my real target. Extra mission, get rid of the Latin threat, the violent old man, completed. Mission 2, dealing with the Master of the Loop who wanted the monster's resurrection, will begin now. Not in the dining hall or back home, huh? Then maybe here? The culprit's plans must have changed badly because of Mitsuji's hard work. Good evening, Rikako-san. I mean, right? I mean, I'm still confused about this exactly, but it's the only thing that's really, really not cleared up is the supernatural crap regarding the monster, her powers. Like, I'm a little confused here. And frankly, I'm confused on what the hell Mitsuji and Haruki even are now. I don't know. She was right there.
Who are you?
No need for that. You know everything, don't you?
Haruaki Fusashi-sama. I have been waiting.
The two acquaintances who'd never met exchange a greeting. It was a very normal greeting, but that was what made it warped and strange. What an honor.
But I did not want this. I wanted us to play within the dream. I caught the sheep. No need to worry. I simply took her ability to influence dreams. That is all. Within the raising loop, she will become nothing but a powerless observer.
You're not denying it? That you're behind everything?
I just said I did not want this. But I am unexpectedly happy about this. Haruaki-sama, you know me as so well, and spent so many nights and lives just to get here. I had never expected for this eternal feast to bring me something like this. Thus, I wish to ask you, Haruaki-sama, how did you find out that I pull all the strings?
Huh? Well, I mean, you weren't there when everyone came. That's one.
Huh? Was that it?
No, not really.
Please tell me, how did you discover me?
She gone back to the heart of the matter. She'd probably punch me if I said something like, "You're a spider, of course you're pulling the strings." I'd take it seriously. Of course, there were things I didn't understand. Or more like, I understood because I didn't understand them. Though, that was kind of complex. It was the spider. The Uematsu guardian and symbol. The spider. Japan had no faiths that revered them. The other guardians had archetypes that were clearly related to mountain religions, even the wolves. The spider, however, wasn't. The Shinai faith was a religion created to control. Thus, there was no reason for it to include anything without a clear origin. In fact, it was completely unlikely that a family of prostitutes would use a jorogumo, a term for orb weavers, as their messenger. After all, that was a yokai, not a god. Though the difference between them was minimal, but gods still needed to gather faith. In other words, jorogumo, ugumo, and all of that were just anomalies. Strange indices? Oh my god, I can't talk. I want to say incidents, but how come? Well, that could be anywhere. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm like, my brain's like. Unless they gathered faith from the locals for many years, were accepted, and could live beyond just words, they weren't gods. However, the Uematsu actually had no divine authority despite controlling the most mythical section of the Shinai faith. Now, this was strange. Of course, the Uematsu had a weakness in that people looked down on them because of their nature. However, the amount of suspicion, cruelty, and harshness directed at you was just unnatural. And that was despite being a good person most of the time, unlike Kiyonosuke-san. And I wondered why. The Uematsu had divinity in the Shinai faith, too. That was when the spider archetype came to mind and turned my question to suspicion. The Uematsu, the spider, might have been some sort of an exemption in the Shinai faith, an unnatural entity. It seemed to me that the spider's god could be an outsider that didn't fit in with the mountain faith. The ritual to take in the corruption could have easily been that the secret centerpiece behind the whole faith, no? It was a miracle that they could cure everything, after all. It was something that any new religion would kill to have. Imagine all the adherents they would gain. And if that was the real deal, any cult or dogma with weird origins would forcefully add it to their teachings. That wouldn't have been weird, right? The historical documents prove that many outsiders had come to help create the Shinai faith. Some might have been people from some shrines that wanted to take the snake, monkey, or crow for themselves. Then they also might have given themselves authority by putting their symbols in their teachings. The current village heads might have been the descendants of such people, though that could have been a stretch. Now, who was to say that the Uematsu ancestors didn't enter the settlement during the time and ram their symbol into the religion? Heretics who believed in a warped god. It was included in the religion, but only on a surface level. The truth behind it had been hidden by the Uematsu and wasn't included. That made everyone here unconsciously feel that there was something unnatural, something wrong about them. Thus, they were looked at with scorn, and that was probably why they could take the disorderly profession of prostitution as their family trade. Though, that was just an assumption. You could tell me if I was wrong later. Next, it was time for doubts about her as a person. I'd experienced a looping phenomenon. At first, I thought it was something that happened once I died. But then I'd realized that wasn't right. I'd keep my basis a secret, but I'd realize a few things once I thought about the loops that happened without my death. For example, there were loops that happened without me having any memory of dying. I underestimated it, thinking that it was only because some memories, especially ones of your death, weren't saved properly. However, there was definitely loops that happened without me ever dying. It was just a general image of the loop that gave me the idea that the mist, death, and rebirth were linked, making me assume that I must have died. When I thought of it like that, I started thinking about the loop happened not with my death, but with the dream's master. That was the opposite of how it usually was in such scenarios. Normally, the master's death meant the end of the loop, but most people had died many times within all this looping. Looking at it that way, the loop should have stopped a long time ago. The master should have died, yet the loop didn't end. Thus, I began believing that the death of its master activated the loop. That would make sense. After all, they could try it again if they messed up. They could instantly take full advantage of the looping as I first thought it had. Of course, it was possible the culprit was in a safe spot far away, like Kamafujiyoshi or just the mountains. That would make them impossible to reach, but they could reach this place all they wanted. Of course, the Miguruma observed Yasumizu from a distance, so they could have done that easily. However, there was something strange. I'd seen so many deaths, but there was one person whose corpse I'd never seen. It was Miko. No matter the route, I had never seen her. Well, what does it say? No matter the route, I hadn't seen her final moments. I think it's messed up. Whatever. That made her really shady. She'd seen that ending once, though, so I figured it wasn't her. She didn't know of the conspiracy. But there was someone else who seemed shady. It was you, Rikako Uematsu. I'd seen your corpse once, when it was supposedly all over, but you were hanged in the hall. I'd looped soon after. Well, I tried killing myself then, but looking back at it, the mists were already there before I fell. The looping was strangely linked to the mist. For all I knew, I might have looped without actually dying. Besides that, I'd never seen any of your corpses. You were the only one who left the game in unusual ways. The chief example of that was the Yomibito transformation. You'd gone insane and been locked in. But you stayed alive to be alive, right? Even if your madness was real, it should have been possible for you to survive inside your house for a few days. If that was just some sort of act, you could have drank some water or hidden some food for yourself to survive. Well, I didn't think it was a complete act, but even so, your actions were strange. The reality that you took in the corruption of the feast actually made my suspicions for you all the more certain. The human Vita transformation was just you taking Chiyomi Serizawa's murder penalty for her, right? That had to be impossible. After all, the Feast of the Yomi Purge was an artificial killing spree run by the Miguruma. It wasn't something that could be cured by your ability. However, if there was someone who knew about the cameras, the eye of the Miguruma, and was capable of asking for something like that, someone could bend the rules like that without undermining the Shinai faith. The Miguruma could readily accept their wish to die instead of the actual rule breaker. There had been one time you told me to run. Had you expected for your desire to succeed for the same reasons? While thinking that you looked a bit shady, I found even more proof of that. If the culprits were really the Miguruma, like I said before, they were surely observing this moment as well. They could use their safe position to easily press their loop button or something. I consider that the culprit had watched it all within the mountain with clairvoyance or something, then reset everything at certain times. But the culprit seemed too naive for that. Anyone who watched enough would easily understand that I kept my memories. They would recognize me as dangerous and take care of me. That meant the culprit had to have the perception of a normal human. Thus, to make something happen to Yasumizu, it had to be someone in Yasumizu. You being a culprit would also explain why you prepared Miko a separate place. After all, you knew that the mist was coming. And lastly, you said this. Even if we don't meet again tomorrow, let's meet again in a different life. That wasn't right, now was it? The Shinai faith either denied or forbid resurrection. That was why they said Rives not. It was forbidden for something to go to Yomi and then come back. Someone who could say that was either part of a different faith or knew about the loops. I turned out to be right on that. One more thing. One more thing! I do not know what started, but after seeing you through the shadow of the leaves that day, this was a mistake I'd made several times myself. You said something based on memories of an event from a previous loop. I did think you were extremely careful in that regard, but you weren't above slipping up. Now, see, I can't remember if I mentioned that or not, because that was the very, 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 very first time that we met Rikako. Like, when we met Chiyomi, like, literally when we first began the game. But to say that later on, it's like, huh, wait a minute. You said those words in the timeline where I'd moved the Yasumizu. When we first seen each other, you were behind a rock, one of the Okiba at the entrance of Yasumizu, not behind some leaves. And, well, that was the day after I crashed and ended up in Chiyomi-chan's room. On our very first meeting, right? You also have memories of the loops. From your perspective, did you have any other reason to hide that besides the fact that you were the one behind all this?
Is that all?
Yes. But not enough?
No. More than enough. Up until you arrived here, I was very confused about what was happening. The start of the dream, which I had shifted twice, had been returned twice, without my permission, and I desperately wanted to fix that. In fact, I do not know the reason why, or have certainty that you and Serizawa-sama had been changing the dream. Though, I did consider it a possibility when you said that you had already tried it.
I knew I shouldn't have said that lightly.
If it was true, and you somehow retain your memories, I would have been really happy. We would repeat the feast, while we continue to gain new memories.
Ugh. I think her eyes are doing something. Like, they look a little bit more... Did she ever have those bags in her eyes? She looks a little more evil now. Women like that kind of stuff, huh?
We are creatures that can only die for love. Especially us, the Uematsu.
They said love. and lived by feeding off of it. That didn't make any sense. It's strange to hear you speak of love.
Why?
Your god is one of grudges.
You know that much.
By process of elimination, yeah. He created so many miracles, yet his divinity went unrecognized because it was wretched. The spider god is forgotten. The Uematsu are the Tsuchigumu. You are the descendant of the indigenous people of they're going to use those big words again. Ashihara no Nakakasusini, who were destroyed by the ancestors of this country, the Amatsuku Kami lineage. Its symbol is an ancient original sin. The guilt for this sin lies deep within everyone in this country. Our current prosperity was built on a huge massacre from long ago, and most have forgotten it, so they feel in danger. It was a weak but fatal curse-like feeling that engulfs this whole country, and those infected by this are too numerous. If materialized, it could create a catastrophe that could destroy this whole country. In the dream, that was abstractly represented by that monster, right?
Well done.
She smiled bewitchingly and applauded me. This wasn't the silent, bashful Rikako-san from before. This was an entrancing, shameless Uematsu. Her mask as a prostitute. No, I didn't know which one was the mask at this point.
Indeed. We are a grudge-soaked clan that let the Tsuchigumu of dreams inhabit this body.
She'd been acting bashful while hiding the sentiment in her heart.
Our desire is the death of all people of Yamato.
With that as her sole goal, she praised the devotion and sacrifice of the people of Yasumizu and used them.
You and the sheep, who'd once reversed the fulfillment of this desire, are both detestable and lovable.
I don't know what you mean. Hate me.
You've already arrived there. Thus, if I stop your memories at that point and make it so you don't remember anything else, you will surely reach the same ending.
I couldn't deny that.
When that happens... Oh, I actually love you so much I can't bear it! I have to thank you for giving me a chance to bury myself to you in such a way. My heart and mind are so happy now.
The sudden switch in tone and her content of her words made me dizzy. To me, she was actually more enchanting, adorable, and beautiful than ever. They only love those who help you fulfill your desire.
No. Spiders are greedy. We love all that we can eat. I'm not being contradictory. I really do love you. I hate the people of Yamato, but even that is lovable at this point. If I get to burn and consume them all,
She rubbed her abdomen.
I would call them all to a dream and hellish joys. I would melt, love, and play with 100 million accompanying me without end. So, I really do love everyone.
The spider's archetype was of the Great Mother. That was what this reminded me of.
Especially you.
She suddenly looked away like she was bashful. The situation was abnormal, but the gesture was one that could shake the core of any man. I don't understand. This is beyond me.
You will understand eventually. You are aware, aren't you? Of the conditions to bring back the Tsuchigumu of dreams.
I don't. Your goal is the resurrection of that monster. But I have no idea why you had to repeat the feast for that. There's literally nothing linking the two. All I know is that the moment the monster awakened happened under very special circumstances. By that, I mean all of Fujiyoshi people who were in the Yasumizu when the mists were out. I can't talk. Let me do that again. By that, I mean that all the Fujiyoshi people who were in Yasumizu when the mists were out and had died, except for you.
Oh, you noticed that much.
Well, because that one wasn't that hard. I knew it. If that was your goal, I can understand why you planned this complicated roundabout event. The Uematsu have no way of killing many people. Even if you killed one or two, you couldn't complete the job with your frail arms. There's also the fact that the Uematsu are shunned, so you can't survive the feast.
Yes.
So that's why you use the time period in which they kill each other. And if you fail, you restart. Yes, I know that much. That was where the final secret lay. It pissed me off, but I had to ask her directly. But I don't understand. There's nothing in the legends linking the Tsuchigumo's revival of Yasumizu or Kamafujiyoshi. There's no relation between the Ukami and the Tsuchigumo either. All I can think of is that this is a massacre that utilized the feast. However, even so, I don't understand why the people of Fujiyoshi had to be sacrificed. I thought it might have been something to do with the amount of Yasumizu, Yomi, people had died, but that didn't add up. That doesn't explain why Kiyonosuke no Satoshi had been invited to the feast. Why him? His nature? Well, because of numbers? Or was he necessary as a person? At the very least, he'd been ordered to live here by his family. It was someone's intent, clearly, but whose? Yours? Then why'd you need to sacrifice such a strange group? It's weird, mysterious, warped, unnerving, unsettling, unreasonable, incomprehensible, and so scary I can't hear it, I can't bear it. It's the last mystery. Why did you have to kill them? Jesus Christ! I'm in the dark right now, and that sound and her visual is scared the shit out of me. Whew! I do not like seeing Rikako like that.
Because I made love to each of them once.
That voice. That smile. They were both those of a monster.
What? Rikako, no. What happened to you in the first episode when you were being all stupid in the little introductory stuff?
Oh, Rikako. Damn.
The Uematsu are a warped people. The grudge of the clan is profound, but we had to use it as its warped practices to survive. That's what you know is our ability to take in. The Tsuchigumo of dreams living within we heads of the Uematsu is a manifestation of this grudge. To gather more grudge and make it swell, we reap and consume all the evil, sin, and filth. We trick the great spider of corruption, bleeding out and getting rid of the diseases we take to prevent the spider's resurrection.
So that was why she was covered in blood after taking something in.
Thus, the head women of Uematsu continue to live on in this country as useful tools that healed everything. And that is how the family declined.
Well, you forgot your mission and desire and used the divine power in a completely opposite way?
Yes, I did. But there was no way the great spider would have noticed such trickery. It secretly, slowly gathered disease, birthed its children, then let them escape. Then it would gather it again and repeat. The Tsuchigumo of dreams, the heads of the Uematsu family, used to get around the bleeding in the clan's eye to gather corruption. And now, right as the family's about to die out, it finally gathered enough to come back. All that's left is retrieving it.
So when you say you made love to them...
I mean it literally. And I put my children in them.
Oh man. What a disgusting truth. Ugh. I don't like how she looks. I heard that the Uematsu worked hard at purification when there was a cholera outbreak here in the settlement. But there's no way you could die, assuming your power is real. And you had to be very young back then.
Indeed. Don't expect the heads of this village to care about something like that. Aw, Jesus! Game!
Shit! I heard that Kaori-san was very sick when she birthed Yoshisugu-kun. That she almost died.
I used my mouth to take in all the pain and corruption in her blood.
Shit. So, you also took in from Haru-chan when she was going through the wolf possession.
Yes. Mojuna-sama was very adorable. She benefited from what I was doing, so she silently allowed the spider's resurrection. If the law of the Amasukami is broken, the mountain's darkness and Ayomi's darkness would rule again. Oh, how wonderful!
Shit! The wolf guy is a huge scumbag. He might have done something by force.
I don't want to remember that.
Ugh. Chikamochi Kamoshida.
Of course. I took in from him when his family were worried about his eccentricity. He was cute, so we got along well in Kamafujiyoshi, if you understand my meaning.
That little... What about Yasunaga-kun?
He was a bit cute, so I slept with him when he was visiting Kamafujiyoshi.
You're the lowest...
Oh, don't worry. He thinks it was all a dream.
Last one. Chimi Sarazawa. Chimi Miguruma. You took it from her when she was bitten by the rabid dogs they kept, didn't you?
Yes, indeed.
Why'd you hide that from her?
Because that was the promise I made when I came under Shinai-sama's rule. Shinai-sama's corruption is divine punishment. We cannot allow you to take it. So I couldn't. Or, I just didn't.
You knew this, of course. Chimi doesn't remember it, though.
She was so surprised she forgot it all, it seems.
Of course. You knew about the necklace, too. So that means that when you said something like that, you'd seen it for the first time. It was just an act.
Yes, an act that saved you.
So all the help you gave me and Chimi had an ulterior motive. You felt that we were special.
Yes. I didn't know the reason, but I could clearly see that you had the power to change the flow of the loop. Before you came, I thought I could reach the ending I wanted by making her an ally.
As a result, she continuously given Chiyame a good impression, making her less suspicious. If Chiyame, someone who could keep her memories, found out that she was a bad guy, her conspiracy would become impossible to achieve. But she didn't get there.
Yes, she wasn't good enough.
So that's why you were nice to me instead?
As I already said, it's because I find you lovable. You released my children and sent them to me out of simple curiosity. You're a wise, gracious, sinister wolf of a warped heart. Come with me. Let us enjoy endless pleasure on the path to Yomi atop the great spider.
Path to Yomi.
The mountain is Yomi. The darkness is Yomi. Yomi is dreams. Dreams are the mountain. An endless dream and limitless pleasure. A happy, blissful hell. Let us enjoy it together atop the corpse of all the people of this country. I want to be with you, for you are the most lovable.
She said that with a serious tone. Apparently, a devil had just confessed to me. Oh man. I was actually interested. And honored. But...
Don't say anything more, Rikako-san.
Someone got in the way. Chimi-chan. She broke her promise to God? She didn't think I was dead? Oh man, several questions came to mind. Wait, why are you here? But that was the first one. That was the first one I could say.
I'm the fourth here, sadly.
What?
Guys.
A moment later, they entered. Haru-chan, Mochi, and Rikako-san. Wait, Rikako-san. Wow, what a crowd. Well, Mission 2 had an unexpected development.
The Sato-san was all about not leaving Uematsu-san here. So he got off the boat and Haru-chan followed for some reason, so I followed her, of course. I forgot some unfinished business. And that was when I was freed from the curse. They were doing something, so I, who knew everything, couldn't let myself enjoy the afterglow of killing God.
So she had realized my plan. But even so, she couldn't resist God.
I left the rest of Yasukun and Takumi Nichan and became the rear guard. That means that the leader of this invasion into the final encounter is you, Nosato-san. Honestly, I feel for you.
Rikako-san, was everything you said true? The looping Shimizu told us about, our murder, and the monster. Is it all true?
Yes, Nosato-sama. My apologies for fooling you all this time.
Rikako-san used her usual voice, but that just made it stand out more. She bowed her head.
I was actually quite happy that you had feelings for me. It was simply too comical.
Oh!
Don't make that face. You are still more lovable than most. I do not mind making you the bed on which Haruaki-sama and I eternally intertwine. I'm telling you to shut up! You'll shoot me? Shoot! That will complete the final loop. You are the most fitting person to complete the pleasant dream. The perfect hell! Hate me for taking your beloved and shoot me. I will take that as congratulations and create my dream. I see. So you kill God, but you can't do anything about a god that reaches completion when it dies. What are you going to do, Haruaki? I will no longer support Tsuchigumu Dono's plans, but she is still a mighty foe.
Man, this is troublesome. I would have liked this to be finished in secret. Mission 2 became unexpectedly lively. Now, I'm sorry you all had to gather here to hear this, but I still had to say it. I'm thinking of going with her. Okay. Wait, please tell me you have a reason why. Everyone lost their expressions. Only Rikako-san looked at me with an ecstatic expression.
No way. Why? That joke's too far even for you. I mean, I get him though. Rick-chan's cute and a damn demon lord. That's way too interesting.
Rikako-san, please stop! Even if everything is true, there are no joys worth dying for.
My, such considerate words befitting a doctor.
Your life must have been painful, and our clan must have experienced great hardship, your clan. But I don't see the reason to throw it all away and walk the path of chaos.
You haven't heard me. I will rise again, complete, and create an eternal blissful hell for myself.
That's not true happiness. I'm saying that I can make you happy for saving me back then.
Oh, the boy from back then sure has grown. But it really is comical how you are so invested in your first woman, and how you still have feelings for her.
Anyway, sorry. I'll take her. She jumped at me and embraced with the innocence of a child.
I love you. You'll finally fulfill the gamble from back then. Gamble? Gamble? What gamble, Haruaki-san?
Oh, how pitiful. The man called Haruaki will trust her. Yep. Yeah, okay. Haruaki Fusashi will believe Rikako Uematsu. And then she'll do the same. I will survive for Rikako Uematsu's sake, while she'll survive for Haruaki Fusashi's sake. You can ask for whatever you want, and I'll do the same. And if we both survive, she can ask anything from me, and I can ask anything from her.
And we both survived, Haruaki-sama. And we will continue to survive. I will not let you say that it was just a line to save the Rikako Uematsu from back then. I remember those words clearly.
I know.
I will consider our promise made before the great spider.
Was that big of a deal?
Yes, of course. Break it and all that waits you is destruction.
Guess I have no choice then.
Haruwaki Fusashi-sama will join the Tsuchigumu of dreams and join fates with mine. That is my desire. Now, ask what you want, Haruwaki-sama. I will grant you whatever wickedness, debauchery, or pleasure you desire.
Oh, what a wonderful offer.
That's just... Haruwaki-san, you're too nice! Why do you try to save every girl by just saying whatever comes to mind? I guess it just doesn't matter if it destroys your body and country, huh? You know, I can't even complain. You saved me too. I can't say anything against Rikako-san being saved. You idiot! You dumbass! Chiini, calm down. Why are you so calm? You and he also... Well, it is a bit unfair, since I can read his mind and know what shall happen now, but he only taught me of evil. I will do what I want without him, and I will just take whatever I want. But, Chiini, Haruwaki is the type of man who'd teach an innocent country girl about evil. Do you seriously believe that a warped scumbag like him would make such a promise? Huh?
Rikako-san hesitantly loosened her grip. Then she took a step back. Her eyebrows were furrowed in suspicion. Oh, how pitiful. Yep. What, so he... Wait, did he lie about this? Because he said, Who's Haruwaki Fusashi? What? I really didn't expect to be caught doing marriage fraud. Hold on.
Huh? What? Huh?
A guy like that doesn't exist. Though, I can't be sure. Maybe you'll find one if you look hard enough. Yeah, like, okay, so wait a minute, so... Poor guy. Yeah, I made this Haruwaki something-san share his fate with someone. Oh, my head. Well, that doesn't matter right now. I guess it's my turn to ask you what I want from you.
Oh, man. Oh!
What? She's going crazy. She suddenly took out a dagger from her sleeve. Ooh, Rikako, no! No, why? Why do you look so creepy and awesome at the same time? Oh, crap, wait, where the hell are you pointing that at? Actually, frankly, you're bad, evil,
You really are the best! The best! The worst nameless soldier! I will take this gamble to the next time, if you remember it anyway.
The dagger went into her throat. Ugh. Crap, I had to make it in time. I had to tell her to stop this conspiracy. At that moment, all light vanished. In the midst of that, what happened was a scream. It was a scream so scary it seemed inhuman.
What? What? I can't see anything. Hey, Mochi, where are you touching?
Uh-oh. Mochi. What are you doing? Where are the lights? This is unexpected. What happened? But going at someone with a knife in the dark was just... Well, all talk that I was, couldn't even force myself to act. I heard myself heavy... I heard something heavy drop on the floor. That's something metallic. The next moment, the lights came back. Before me, I saw Rikako Uematsu lying on the floor. She wasn't moving at all. Was she dead? No, the dagger was clean and still in her hands.
Hold her down!
Chimi moved first, then Kinosuke. One took the knife, and the other held her hands behind her back. She was unconscious.
What happened?
Rikako-san? Rikako-san, are you okay?
You don't change, do ya? It'll be bad if she wakes up now. Haruwaki-san, what do we do?
Let's tie her up and leave her. There was rope deeper in.
That's mean. You're heartless, old man.
I'm not old. And call me Hassan. And why are you all freaked out?
I don't know about the way you said it, but I agree that we should tie her up.
Oh, come on. We went and did just that.
I am.
She woke up. What did she bite? Wait,
she woke up. What if she bites her tongue or something? Let's gag her.
Please don't be so cruel to her.
Hey, if we don't prevent her committing suicide, it's going to be bad for all of us.
Don't you think she might have been pushed to this point because of this? Because people treat her like an object or a disaster?
Wow, Uncle's actually saying something good for once.
Rikako-san, can you give me some time? I will admit I had fallen for you. Hard, I may add. But ever since I saw your dry eyes on that day, I've been haunted by an urge to make them wet. Okay. But even so, I can't give up on you at this point. Please let me try and make you happy. He was really straightforward, but that didn't really matter to her.
The spider, the Tsuchigumu of dreams, is gone.
Wait, she said something we didn't understand.
Huh? Where are you, Tsuchigumu? My everything? The god who taught me of love?
I had no idea why, but I could tell. She no longer had any divine powers or scary conspiracies left. All that the Uematsu family, Rikako Uematsu, ever had vanished all at once. But even so, I ask that you, Rikako Uematsu, abandon the Tsuchigumu's revival and live out a normal, happy life as an ordinary woman, a person. I gave her those cruel words. She began crying. I did feel bad. I considered taking responsibility for her and taking her with me, but the one to embrace her and console her as she cried was Kiinosuke Satoshi, not me. If he chose to take that role, I had no business stopping him. I would just let him have it.
Everything is solved now, it seems. Is that good enough? I'll believe if you say it is, God. A contract made for a god you would accept takes more than a lifetime to break. Well, Tsuchigumu Dono's seeds of corruption, children, are still within us. But now that I have my powers back, I shall have no problem removing and consuming them. Build me a shrine as quick as possible, Mochi. Okay.
Hey, everyone. I'm Haruaki Fusashi.
Oh, look at that, the swindler.
Ouch.
I'll still call you Haruaki-san on the convenience.
Good. Wait, I'm confused. You know what? I don't know. We'll just keep going.
But as a woman, I gotta say that's a huge no. I feel a bit bad for her.
Oh, you can't tell me you didn't think you felt she deserved it.
I did.
Oh, such honesty. Well, anyway. Sorry, Rikako-san. Goodbye.
Haruaki-sama! You dummy!
Mission 2. Dealing with the Master of the Loop, who wanted the monster's resurrection, had been completed. Even if I didn't fully understand it. Okay. Nothing more needs to be said, even if it gives me the things to think about. I still don't know what to say to you. Don't worry. Me neither. Even so, I believe you might have saved her, as well as the rest of us. Seriously, don't worry about it. I probably have better ways to do this. Well, probably. I hope I can talk to you again sometime.
I don't want to see his face.
Rikako-san.
Dummy. Haruaki-sama, you dummy.
Unfortunately, I find her lovable even when she's like this. Same, actually, but I wouldn't admit it out loud. I shall protect her. I have no right to stop you. Patiently and thoroughly convince her to change her mind. Talk it out with her. Of course. I shall not do anything one-sided. Though I will help her survive. Good.
I won't let Nasato-sama convince me. I'll bite him to pieces.
Rikako-san had become a completely different character. I suppose we can withdraw now? Wait a bit. There's one less thing I have to clean up. We have to walk a bit for that, though. Alright. Masato-san, Mochi, Haru-chan, you stay here. I think it'll be alright, but look after Rikako-san.
I'll make you vomit.
If that's the most you can do, then you're not much of a threat.
I do not have to come with you?
No. I'll tell them everything myself.
Very well. Oh, Tsuchigumu Dono. You certainly had your way with me back then. Should I get back at you for that? Eh.
What are you doing? Don't touch her like that! Stop that, Mochi.
Huh? Oh, but it's fun!
It's your job to look after Haru-chan and God.
Boo. Alright.
Anyway, time for the final job. We'll chase back the people coming from the mountain. Help me out with that, Chime-chan. Mission 3. Dealing with the Miguruma, the leaders of the feast. Now, would it go peacefully or violently?
Alright, you swindler.
Harsh. Oh man, I don't know how long this is gonna be, but alright. Okay, this is kind of hard to ask, but...
Yeah?
Are you bothered by what happened between you and Rikako-san in the past?
I mean, I really don't remember it. And even if I did, it wouldn't be anything more than a childhood kiss for me. It doesn't count.
I didn't know if that's how it was, but I would just assume she was right. I couldn't say anything if she thought that. Well, I guess you don't know what actually happened.
Yeah. I think everyone but the Nasato blockhead, I can't really call him that anymore, can I? Everyone but Kiyanosuke-san had forgotten it. Everyone's either dying or dreaming.
Mochi probably remembers, though.
He wouldn't care, would he?
Good point. From what I saw, Haru-chan was reaching a compromise.
I think she can handle stuff like that while God is still around. If you're right, she'll probably grow out a great deal by the time it vanishes.
Yeah. Though Haru-chan's God was real, it was still a mask she'd made to bear the pain she experienced as a child. When we just talked, she mentioned it herself, but the tone was that of God. It was something that she could only say through the voice of God. The wounds were just that deep. The same could probably be said for Chime.
Can I say something too?
Yeah.
What's God anyway?
Well, you didn't realize?
I mean, I get the general concept and know it's scary, but I have no idea what it truly is.
I made the right choice calling her here. Mission 1 was way too hectic, so we had to postpone the answer to that until now. God is anything that's right. Rightness seemed like it was tied to intelligence and wisdom, but it was actually a concept as far away from those things as possible. Fixed decisions, preconceptions, obsessions, bases, obligations, and adherence to the old ways. The idea whether something was right or not chained people's minds before they could even think about whether something was intelligent or wise. Thus, mankind was bound by what was right. By God. Sometimes it was so bad even they couldn't realize it. This interpretation of God really wasn't special or interesting in any way. The people bound by it couldn't resist their sense of right or wrong. Someone might have said something similar to that effect already. However, there were two things I hadn't expected. One, that God was alive. And two, God could warp into something truly fearsome.
I don't see dogs anywhere.
The waterway probably isn't open.
So, they all had rabies, huh?
Well, I imagine they couldn't control them if they all did. I'm guessing they're actually dogs who've been trained to avoid water while simultaneously getting injected with rabies. That's terrible.
Why would they do something so horrible?
Using beasts for their bringers of corruption just fit the whole Shinai faith motif, don't you think? The Uematsu Mujina, serving the Uematsu Okami, and the Miguruma, the ones watching over them, were their primary followers.
Was I stupid?
No, you were normal. By the way, did you get tested?
I did. Right after I went to college and started learning. The results were negative.
Well, I'd imagine if she was... Well, yeah, because if she was bit by a rabid dog when she was 5, there's no way in hell she would have survived all this time, right? Doesn't rabies kind of take effect, like, very soon after? I don't know. What a relief. So she wasn't infected. Rabies could linger in a body for a long time, and anyone infected ended up dying. It was a pretty awful disease, so it can linger like that. Wow, okay, I didn't know that.
It didn't calm me down, though. It could have been a different disease, or it could have been a real curse.
What a right way to look at it. What do you think now?
I don't care about it at all.
Another relief. That alone made the god's murder all worth it. I resume my explanation. God was alive. Why? Because humans sought what was right. They tried to be right. They all tried to justify their existence, their actions, their possessions, their relationships, and they tried to make everything else see it their way. That was close to human nature. It was the belief that human nature was fundamentally depraved. There was no objective good in this world, but there was things that were right for the era and location. God, basically. People could justify their existence and live on by obeying the God of that time and place. It was something that everyone submitted in order to survive or live well. It was a byproduct of the desire to live and die the right way. Thus, people would want to prolong the lives of gods they were connected to their way of life.
Huh? It's not collapsed.
We made it in time.
So, did the Miguruma always destroy this place using heavy machinery?
That has to be it. And since that hasn't happened now...
Well, the path aside, how do they make the mist clear after the feast is done?
Well, the mist might come randomly, but...
Wait, the mist might come randomly, but how do you stop it?
Well, the Uematsu had strange powers, so maybe the Miguruma's heads do too?
Well,
the tower lookouts observe the weather, right? Well, maybe this feast was special because Rikako Uematsu controlled the weather through her dream manipulation. The previous feast endings can be handled by just killing all the wolves in the morning the mist clears. Honestly, they messed up with the mist on the last feast, so the system probably wasn't that reliable. And again, it could have been God pulling something weird, so maybe that was an exception.
Well, to them,
all that mattered was that the people of Yasumizu killed each other at appropriate levels. They underestimated the situation, and this happened.
I see.
God would change. Human society shifted, and with that, so did the standards of right and wrong. There were changes one had to accept whether or not they were good or bad. Thus, God would change, and so would personalities, dogmas, and perhaps even existences of a whole. They could be considered a kind of evolution. Of course, it could mix with other gods too, and it could be considered a breeding. More than that, God was infectious. Rightness was reflected in everything surrounding human life. Words, ways of living, culinary traditions, and a lot more. Construction styles, clothing, art, etc. Those who embodied a certain god, sense of rightness, displayed it with every move they made. And they also gave this god to those who visited a place or were born there. It was like a living being. No. It was like a disease. A virus.
I'm not afraid of the mist anymore.
We have God on our side now.
And both Shinai-san and Okami-sama are gone now. Little Chimi doesn't have the right to be afraid of the corruption anymore.
Do revere the new god, though. You don't want her getting all sulky.
She's a bit too cute for that. Can I just pamper her instead?
Sounds good to me. The rightness that seated itself in human minds and lives, that multiplied, mutated, and spread to others. Thus, God was alive. It wasn't just a concept. It was actually alive. In my mind, it was like a mind-based organism. Though it could only surface in such a dangerous manner because of Yasumizu and the Feast of the Yomi Purge. Two abnormal setups. But God was dangerous even if you ignore that. I'd mentioned before that there was a moment where God became dangerous. God was at its most dangerous when its name was forgotten. God was fine when it was revered. God was fine when it was acknowledged. But what if God became forgotten? They would just recognize it as righteous and stop questioning it ever again. When distressed, people invoked God even if there was no religion involved. That was what kind of animals that we were. Normally, such gods represent only the rightness and goodness within the heart of a single person, so it wasn't much of a threat. However, gods who had forgotten only had their identities forgotten, they still retain the power to influence people. The forgotten gods, those who possessed nothing but the name God, would be willing to create situations where no one unfamiliar with the god would be able to comprehend. The Miguruma had planned a war plot that clearly wasn't worth the effort and could even end them if exposed. And the people of Yasumizu had reluctantly accepted it and gone on to kill each other. That was all the fault of God. Of course, you could say it was directly done by Grey Lord Shinai or the Snake, but at the core of it all, there was a fear of death and darkness. The mountain was the darkness, and the darkness was Yomi. The mountain used to be a strange realm that birthed endless darkness and death. Thus, the people here had secrets, could readily murder others, and could hide that from the world. The truth behind the feast was the unforgettable loyalty to God. And that's the reason why you were so afraid of God. Looking back at it, maybe you did the right thing by not letting me eat the food here. In certain timelines, I definitely ended up infected by God. The feeling of having something other than yourself control you is very scary. You can be controlled without realizing it, but it was actually way more scary if you did realize. You just happened to realize it. That's why you were scared. I can't blame you. Well, luckily, you got to meet and talk to God in person this time, so all's good. Well, I guess you're right. In the end, people are still controlled by things, but a certain someone did a good job playing God. Since not everyone there could understand the looping, that was the best option. I mean, I get it, but that kind of pisses me off. Just about everyone is influenced by others somehow. If you don't want that, you need to rebel, like I do. It's something the person who realizes it must do by themselves. They had no business asking that for help with it, or having it forced on them. You've been free from the start, huh? That's why you're scary. You're the one who controls. You're on the same side as God, huh? Want to shoot me again? I only have real shells left, so I won't. But, are we seriously walking to Kamafujiyoshi now? Where are we heading, anyway? I actually don't know. Jesus Christ. I actually was wondering about Mamiya-san and Hashimoto, because Rawr! Ah! Jeez. Hisako Mamiya appeared out of nowhere and swung her bag at us, but we managed to jump back just in time. Wait, Mamiya-san, you went back before noon today. What are you doing? Serizawa-san. And this is... Oh, sorry. I'm the local informant. So it's you. What's going on here? My life is in danger. Huh? What? What is this? Arawaki-san? Explaining it would take a while. Sum it up! I didn't want outsiders present for the performance, so I informed them about a potential mystery scandal with the Miguruma and had them leave for Kamafujiyoshi. So it's your doing, huh? Everything is, isn't it? Actually, I had Mitsuji do some work, but I couldn't fit that into the summary. Oh, now's not the time for that. What's with these masked people? They have sticks! Is this the Sujisawa village or something? Huh? Is the problem here that blatant?
Haruaki-san, behind you!
Aw, jeez, what's going on? Oh, hail Shinai-sama. Seriously? A wolf actor jumped out of the mist, clad in nothing but a patchwork wolf costume. To me, as I was now, it actually looked comical, but the power of the weapon in his hand was no joke. Oh, he was about to hurt me real bad. Humph! Well, suddenly he was blown away. I heard him groan as he disappeared into the mist again and didn't get up for round 2. Are you okay?
Oh, yes. Oh, thank you so much. But what's going on here? Summon up, Haruaki-san.
A group that wanted to start a murder ritual in Yasumizu went into a panic and started attacking a journalist taking photos of them.
I don't understand a bit of what you just said. I'll have you explain this later, but even if I had to cover you in canned airing or hearing.
Anything but that. It's fine. It's a chance to bolster your reputation as an ex-occult writer.
Why do you know such details?
Kyo-chan, calm down a bit.
What's up with you, Hashimoto-san? I must say, you're way too calm about this. You'll die if you underestimate the paranormal. Well, she's not wrong.
Hey, don't mind me too much. Before we talk of the paranormal and whatnot, let's deal with the more mundane threat. Rising as he finished those words, several wolf actors jumped out of trees, making weird screams.
Well, in that case... Oh, you can't use a gun against an enemy with a stick? Oh, then what am I supposed to do?
Eat this! A stick flew by her, messing up her hair. Woof! A wall of flesh! As Chimi dodged, Hashimoto-san had moved into everyone's blind spot and blasted him away with 2 of the enemies. Don't falter! The other guy's scrawny and the rest are women! Hey! Oh! Drop dead! Probably out of sense of chivalry, they first went for the scrawny guy. That pissed me off. But hey, it was 2 against 1. Oh no! They beat me!
Ha!
Aw, this is cool. This is an awesome image. Look at Hashimoto. He's like, "Ooh, power punch!" And freaking Chiyami, you doing that backwards kick. Ooh, you got, you built up your calves and your thighs there, I see. Sorry, I shouldn't be looking, but damn. Okay then. Gah! Oh! Oh! Hashimoto-san tackled one, while Chiyami-san landed a jump kick on the other, saving me. Hit in the jaw, the wolf was knocked down in 1 hit. The mask fell off, and hey, he looked even scrawnier than me. What the hell?
Oh, do I have a talent for this?
Not bad, little lady. Yeah, she had great legs. Are you okay, Shigesaku? Then we'll kill at least 1.
No, no! Oh, freaking Mamiya-san with the bag. Okay.
Duh! Mamiya-san was actually doing good work with just swinging her shoulder bag around.
Did you know that flails are based on farm implements and they're good weapons that let even women and children kill soldiers?
Whoa! A flail's advantage was that you didn't need that much power to hurt with them. But this gourmet rider was so strong it didn't even matter. Was that bag full of rocks or something? All the ones hitting the head were knocked senseless. I mean, I don't want to start crap in the comments or anything like that, but a lot of women's handbags can be pretty damn heavy. I don't know what the hell you guys put in there, but every woman that I know, their bag is heavy as hell. Just if I had to hold it for something because they're grabbing whatever, it's like, do you pack your whole life in there? Like, I don't know. I mean, it's better to be prepared, I guess. Oh shit, get them! Take them all!
Shit, there's more?
Oh, there's so many!
They just keep coming. Then I'll just keep fighting. Hey, Haruaki-san, you fight too! Gah!
Oh jeez, what is going on? I hadn't expected Mission 3 to be all-out battle with this group. It didn't last longer than 10 minutes. Everyone on their side was scrawny, while everyone on my side, myself excluded, were berserkers. Because of that, the dozen or so wolf actors that fought us ended up knocked out on the ground around us. Though, I knew this wasn't over. Oh, looks like they want to talk. This problem had a mythical solution. Mission 3. Dealing with the Miguruma, the leaders of the feast. It would be easy if it could all be taken care of by just beating these scrawny guys. But I had to defeat a false god that had controlled this place for centuries using weird myths and superstitions. Otherwise, I would be unable to completely free Yasumizu, this village, from the confines of the mists. There were 3. They were positioned and presented in a completely different way than the ones who clearly did the dirty work. Their appeal was fancier too. They were the great Lord Shinai, Uematsu Okami, that had appeared before the hanging pine. They were unarmed, signaling that they didn't want to fight right now. Who are you people? Loyal to the role, he asked that. You seem to be strangely knowledgeable. They'd seen it with the eye to Miguruma, huh? Of course you don't believe you can leave this place alive, do you? That's our line, fake! Her eyes didn't show a hint of hesitation, and her words didn't show a bit of fear. God was dead. She killed it. Thus, she had no reason to fear, obey, or tolerate a fake. One more step.
What's going on here? Depending on your answer, I'll call the police.
Sorry, but that'll just make things more messy, so just leave it to me.
You don't look very clean yourself.
Let's leave it to him, Kyo-chan.
Hashimoto-san.
Well, if he does anything strange, I'll just crush him. I really can't ever beat you, can I? Now, I have a message for the Miguruma, from the old god of the mountain. They were shaken. If you understand that, then you must be important members of the family. Listen, the god has awoken again. The Okami and the great god are dead. The servants will soon vanish as well. Upon leaving, the Okami said that there should be no more feasts. Thus, you have no cause to invade the sacred ground. Leave and tell us to everyone. Great Lord Shinai is no longer on this mountain. The head families will soon fade. Prepare yourselves and wait until then. To my mind, it was possible that they would back out. After all, God was killed and replaced. That was the hard truth. The people of Yasumizu had changed their values and outlook on life. Thus, the group that had gained power through God would know this truth and lose their power. However, who are you? The false guy asked that. It was old language. It's a simple question. Who are you? Among the many wolf actors here, the youths lying around us and the 3 in front of us, 2 of which had backed away in a panic. The elder in the middle stood out. His eyes were looking ahead. Beyond that mask, I could see unwavering black eyes and unshaken vigor. This wasn't the strength of a god. It was just the strength of a human. He used it to face me head on. He used it to ask me whether I had what it took to end this mad conspiracy. That was a challenge of the very last boss.
Haruaki-san, what will you do?
I'd lose if I said something bad. I'd lose if I showed any sort of hesitation. I'd lose if I stayed quiet for too long. I felt as if the mask was laughing at me. Neither are we God nor divine child, ye be no thing, so then why can ye defy God? You are no god or divine child, you are no one, so why can you stand against God? That was a provocation. I knew this well. That was why I brought this over. I took it out again. The old wolf mask. The old man laughed. Kagatsuchi, who had to kill God while he acted like God?
What's he saying?
Sounds like poetry to me.
Kagatsuchi, who killed God while acting like God? Kagatsuchi is definitely a god that killed gods, but it wasn't intentional. He killed Izanami because his body was burning as he was born. He's not talking about that, Kagatsuchi. Kagu no Suchi. There's a term for some foolish and ugly. He was cursing and reproaching someone who acted like God and killed the god. Yamato is mountain land, while Narukami was Kaminari, becoming God. The mountain shows no signs of God's power, and the land of Yamato has no gods you can become. We'd already killed this god. After claiming that, saying that we would take his place would just be wrong and self-contradictory. That was why the old man laughed. He knew he couldn't back out because of something like this. Well, that was the right idea, considering the Shinai face theology. Well, that's very like a Japanese myth. After all, no god has ever died in this country. Exactly. What do you mean, Mamiya-san? Indeed, this was the right time. The border between the land of the living and the land of the dead is a country itself. That's how it was of Izanagi, you know? Indeed, this was the right place. Humans and gods, everyone who dies goes to Yomi. This god existed. I had to thank Mamiya-san for that explanation later. I put on the mask. Fool. Shut up. Just let me talk. It was a bit pathetic, but I would borrow your power again. My name is Uematsu Ukami. Oh my god, this just keeps going, doesn't it? Hold on, I gotta take a look at this image now. So I wonder if we're actually gonna know who the hell that person is behind the mask. The ringleader, I guess, so to speak. Oh. If you argument that Okami is no more, then verily I, Ukami the great god, can also not be? If he calleth yourself Okami, then just as well as I, Okami the great god, the wolf-faced god that had renegade in Fushiyoshi. No, this isn't Fushiyoshi. It's Yomi. Saranaga's myths were all around us. The fact that we're both here means that we both died. Then the god will Arensen at any time the mists come. And the god will resurrect any time the mists come. What an appropriate thing to worry about. The solution was simple, though. No, because the mists of Yomi will never come over this mountain again. And why is that? So he wasn't satisfied with a direct answer to his argument, huh? Then let me speak. This is the final story between us. The continuation of your story. After all, storytelling was my specialty. After the Feast of the Yomi Purge, the wolves left the village. However, then came the Saranaga Mists, and the wolves rose up from Yomi to kill people. The people were scared and killed more and more people they thought to be the wolves' allies. The Feast of the Yomi Purge had become a fearsome massacre. But then it was found out that the wolves hadn't actually died. They had just fallen off the cliff, weakened, caught by someone, and locked up in a dark prison. That someone was a snake. Shinai-san had turned out to be the wolves. The snake was using the feast to create an uprising against the wolves. To the wolves, the snake said the ones who went against God's will were the humans, and continued to tell the people that the wolves were bad. The snake would then wear Shinai-san's clothes, appear before people, and control them completely using frightening words. However, the wolves weren't tricked. After all, the badger, who had come to the feast late, came to the prison and told the wolves the truth. With the badger's help, the wolves escaped the prison and returned to the village. Regrettably, a lot of blood had already been spilled in the name of the Ukami. The wolves were sad their names would from now on invoke fear and hate among the people. Thus, the wolves chose to set things straight. First, they went to the dream of a human girl who was born with the blessing of the snake, only to be marked by the wolves and chased out of her home. They told her to use powerful smoke and fire to burn all the guardians. She believed their words, and after lots of trouble, she obtained the powerful smoke and fire from a faraway bird. Then, she returned back home and used it to burn down the snake and its fellow guardians. With them at last punished, the wolves took everyone on a journey far away.
With that, Mujina, the badger, and the old god who were once the wolves' servant had now taken its place as the new eternal god of the mountain. One of the guardians, the crow, was allowed to stay and be the watcher of Yomi to prevent any rising again. With that, Shinai-san was gone, leaving only humans, the crow, and a new god, bringing forth a new age of peace. The new god occasionally brings a mist as a reminder of the wolves. It's a good mist that protects people's dreams, takes away diseases, prevents fires, and promises prosperity, so the people began to love it when they came. However, misty nights were when gods walked the earth, so when people cleansed, shelter, and dreamed to not get in the way. Upon seeing that, the new god said, "Well done," and he lived happily ever after. Happy now, butthole? Oh, as I finished talking, I felt I could hear God giggle with a bizarre sort of amazement. Yet, that was probably good enough. By the way, I chose to say nothing about my daughter. I'd leave that part of the plot to the daughter herself. So, people of the snake, the time has come for us to retreat. Let us pass through Yomi and go far away. With that conclusion, I took off the mask. The fire of Almighty God shall this old snake burn. When they showed it, yieldeth mist, become clouds in the sky, and release a ray of shines. Okay. Did it work? I don't know. The words were a bit too complex for me, but I think I heard a snake in there. They were whispering to each other for a minute or two. Eventually, the masked old man began moving again, looked up, and spent a few seconds. After a brief but intense moment of prayer, he opened his mouth. Understood. The two seemed perplexed. I told you we shouldn't be doing this in the first place. I knew we were raised on to go against the head, but I can't stomach him any longer. My stupid son and late father should know the meaning of karma now. Youngin, sorry for making you act like that. You can go now. We'll take care of everything. Huh? Well... I wasn't sure how to respond. Should I report you? Things would be bad if the healthcare center came. Well, this village might disappear then. What would those without savings do then? I hope they don't go nuts. But you're still looking down at Yasumizu? Chimi-chan, that's not it. Fujiyoshi people still need Fujiyoshi. Huh? Wait, are you saying we shouldn't report them? Well, yeah. Wait, no, stop. Don't make me keep quiet about such a scoop. I don't know what's what, but why not do this? Let's watch if these people, the Miguruma, still keep doing bad things and see if we can fix them. But if it looks hopeless, let's investigate them ourselves. Hashimoto-san, what's with the sudden professionalism? It seems very fishy to me. To be a pro is to stay calm. Oh, don't worry so much and just watch. You'll see something in the paper in a few days. Something about a strange event in a remote village. What's wrong with you all? Get up, all of you! He turned away and threw away his mask. I couldn't see his face, but his long gray hair, large neck, and defined jawline told me he was really vigorous for his age. The fancy mask he dropped made a clattering sound of wood and gravel. God once again returned to the earth. As if he felt nothing about it, the old man didn't even turn around as he shouted at the wolf actors and left. Oji-sama? Her grandpa. Okay. I looked at Chiemi. The Miguruma have no granddaughters. Now retreat! Well, he's an asshole because he's still disowning her, but it's whatever. We watched as the wolves left without showing a hint of divinity. Oji-sama. The current head should still be Chiemi Miguruma's dad. So, I don't know. I was told the previous head lives elsewhere. I never even met him. I heard that after the first feast, they didn't have another one for about 40 years. Maybe it wasn't because they weren't any myths? Let's stop there. At this point, I don't want to know if there were any good people among the Miguruma. Alright. You should think about what to do with with Mamiya-san. She really wants to know what's going on here. Kyokyo Hosei. I'm actually a fan of your articles. I saw the New Year's soup special report on January's Apple page. Huh? Really? You're the first reader I've ever met. Oh, wait, don't change the subject. Well, I'll just tell you as we head to your car. It's probably safe now, but it's hard to walk, isn't it? Well, it's a bit scary. Don't worry. We have a shotgunner with a legal sawed-off here. Hey, stop! I see you're quite a character. Well, all right, I'll play along. And so, the misty night passed without any werewolves appearing. Not everyone made it out unharmed, but it seemed like a good ending to me. All missions clear. Now, I just have to return. I briefly told Mamiya-san about the feast, and they helped prevent it. While she did wonder how I knew about it, I considered telling her about the looping, mostly because it seemed interesting, but I was too tired to talk for that long. That's where I ended the interview. She made me exchange phone numbers, eager to interview me someday. We then met up with everyone in the hall, and we all went down to Saranaga. I looked around for Miko, but I couldn't find her anywhere. Though, I noticed my backpack was completely out of food. Some writing stuff was gone too, and there were some clumsy letters in a waterproof bag. Thank you, Fusayuki-san. And that was it. I didn't get it, but I can only guess she was satisfied with something and just left. I was kind of worried, though. But I had no doubts that she would grow up strong. And that no one would ever catch her again. Going down Saranaga on rubber boats was pretty easy. The fantastical mist surrounding us was very beautiful. Enchanting. I can totally understand why the people of the mist thought this was Yomi. Eventually, the mist ended, and so did the forest. Rikako-san was watching as the mist grew more distant. She was silently crying. Yeah. I might have taken her aside if everyone in Yasumizu were irredeemable scumbags. The moment I thought that, Chimi and Haru-chan pinched my ass like they just read my mind. Well, Haru-chan supposedly could read minds, but she actually sussed it out herself this time. It'd be hard for anyone who's not Mochi to handle her being her boyfriend. As we arrived at Crossroads and got out, I saw Mitsuji waiting for us with three four-wheelers nearby. Fuck, you're slow! Sorry. Well, the dream's over, right? Is your sheep back? Yeah, it's all good. Good. Were you worried? I was. Some of the others flipped their boats. I'm sorry, Ukami-sama. Oh, she's just a sheep, so don't worry. What the hell are you saying? And what happens to the whole thing about being gods? You can reveal it to these people. Oh, really? Oh, really now? So that's why you're carrying a mask right in front of them. Oh, I almost forgot. Masato-san, I use this for the act, but this is actually a human sacrifice relic I dug out in a small wide-side shrine in Yasumizu. It is? There are bones there, too. Clean it up, give them a proper burial, display them, do whatever you want there. Understood. Well, I have no talent for archaeology. You'll probably have fitting people come sooner or later. Speaking of which, where's everyone else? They're in a hotel in Kachihara. They'll soon go on a bus toward Atami. Well, just leave them there. Just leave them to me. Oh, you really are part of that kind of organization, huh? Heroes of Justice. Wow, I've got an impressive ex. Don't say that, you dumbass. Anyway, you'll hear from us again, so better brace yourself. Huh? Well, haven't I died enough? Sorry, poor wording. I'll make sure it doesn't get too crazy, so don't worry. Then I will unblock you. You have me blocked? Damn, you just get shittier by the minute. It's normal. It's the world that's insane. Oh, yeah, get in. I mean, are you? Oh, Mitsuji Misumine, my ex, broken up recently. Her job is an ally of justice, and we coincidentally bumped into each other here. What kind of intro is that? Mitsuji, this is Chiime Sarazawa-san. She got into a loop hell because of a certain someone, and we dated each other for a moment, and she's a rumored ex. She's also a casual murderer. Rumored? And stop putting all my pain into just 2 or 3 words. Well, that was kind of my fault too, so I have no place to talk, but you're as bad as always, huh? I think dissing me shouldn't become a trend. I just want to go and sleep now. I want to bathe too. I want to kill Haruaki Fusashi-sama. What are you, the Three Stooges? My apologies. So you're their babysitter? Well, get in. What about you, Haruaki? I know you have a bike, but do you want to ride? No, that's fine. Let's part ways here. I see. All right. Huh? Dummy. I really don't hate how merciless you can be. Stop minding us and just be honest with yourself. Nope. And come pay tribute at my shrine already someday, city dweller. Haru-chan, look here. Hassan-man, you can go now, and bring something good when you get back. See you again. Yep. Tell the others that... nothing. I'm actually supposed to be dead. Yeah, whatever. Good night, good night and goodbye. I said that, and turned around. Dummy. That was the last thing I heard from them. Then I heard them no longer. Been a while, my beloved bike. Though, I'd hop on it later. A power drive, some stream walking, cliff climbing, excavating, acting, fighting, negotiating. No day's ever been as exhausting as this one. I finally remembered that my hand was injured, but the fatigue numbed the pain. I just sleep. I really wanted some sleep. Oh my god, is this still going on? Game, I'm tired myself. This recording's been going on for 3 hours. I'm more than likely this video is broken up into 2 parts now, but I think we're almost done. I woke up surrounded by mist. I woke up next to a pile of corpses. As if. Wake up already, Haruaki-san, and take me somewhere far away. That kind of stuff won't happen again. Nothing strange would happen in reality. There's absolutely no such thing as werewolves. I whispered to no one. Then, I gathered my stuff and left. The place where the convenience store was supposed to be was empty. It was all just forest. Of course, that was all just a dream. I didn't get lost anymore, but I felt like I'd soon forget this road. That was what dreams were like. Haru-chan's whole thing was just a juvenile delusion. Mitsuji's organization was just a public peacekeeping agency. God was purely psychological. There, all of that had to be products of reality. The endless Saranaga, the rotting Yomabito, the few monsters, a certain someone's love. It was all a dream. That was how I chose to look at it. And so, I returned to my normal everyday life. Wait, homecoming? Solve the mystery and return home? What is one day? Game, I don't know if I... Oh my god, one day, what? One day what? A while after that... Mayor of Fujiyoshi Village resigns due to corruption scandal. A pet company in the Kachihana area goes bankrupt and has to be put down of lots of dogs. Aww. That's it? I expected more, considering he told me to read it. After the incident, I gathered local newspapers and mimicked the previous Nosato family heads. Yet, these were the only relevant reports that I found. Though, it wasn't nothing. It would be rash to underestimate this. A village mayor, probably a Miguruma or someone related, residing with something that simply couldn't have happened there before. Even if it had, it would be something that went unnoticed. The people would simply decide through secret power struggles. This could only mean that there was something a lot worse than just corruption, and this made it out to the public because they simply couldn't hide it all. The same went for the pet shop. If the Miguruma had really used rabies for the corruption, it could be national news. After all, it was basically a form of bioterrorism. Hell, with all those rabid dogs I had, the disease might have spread to other mammals, like rats, according to what I looked up. If these rabid animals spread all over, Japan would no longer be considered rabies-free, and that would cost the country a lot. Otherwise, they were just unhygienic dogs trained in a weird way. Or maybe the elitists hid it to prevent panic and loss of resources. Well, there was Mitsuji's job as well. I hadn't heard from them yet, but I got nothing when trying to call her myself, even though I sang to Buddha's Ash Rock. Well, whether government or secret organization, I hoped her group did whatever they had in the background. Apparently, the situation in Fujiyoshi was stable. There was a mayoral election, and the Sato had ended up taking a post. The reason why they skipped the Haiguchi was probably too complicated to release for the public. I was informed of this through an email left by Kiyonosuke Satoshi. He was outside the village right now, along with Rikako Uematsu-san. He rationalized this with his family by saying that he would seclude himself with her and keep the danger that was the Uematsu family away. Bold. He could easily contact his brother, current head and mayor, and get info from him, and I could probably learn more if I contacted them. But this was their problem now. If I went any deeper, I'd be just a rubbernecker. I did find out that life in Yasumizu carried on as always, which was good enough for me. Oh man. Did the fact that I'd been trying to copy the previous Nosatos mean that I'd still had to recognize the whole event as a dream? Or maybe I had some lingering feelings. I could still see her at the edge of my vision. Was it that hard for me to end it? Weird. My flashback was extremely vivid, but still failed to leave me.
Yo, self-proclaimed Haruwaki-san.
Yo. I almost screamed. Almost.
Pretty good house you got here. Way above what the other students have.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, here's a present.
Oh, thank you. Sea cucumber manju. Where'd you get this treasure? I'm hyped as hell now. Wait, Chiyomi-sensei, how did you get in?
Lots of people left just now, so I slipped by as they went out. The auto lock didn't stand a chance. The front door was actually open too.
They always came in droves, so I just left the door open.
Friends?
Editors.
I've been meaning to mention that pile of new books.
Complimentaries.
Huh? What, you're an author?
Kinda.
I saw this one on TV. Oh, and this one in the student co-op. The authors' names are all different.
Which one's the real one?
They're all fake, aren't they? Oh, wait. Haruaki Fusashi. Switching around to get Fusashi Haruaki. Haruaki can be read as Yume. Fusashi Yume. Fusai Home. That's Japanese for alibi. You were just messing around, huh?
I didn't. That's my pen name for when I'm barely working.
You are messing around. And wait, you're seriously a famous author? You're a winner at life. Don't look down on us commoners.
Listen, I'm actually living in constant fear of deadlines, editors, and writer's block.
What's your real name?
She chased me around my office and study for about a minute. Then...
oh well.
Right. Wait, why are you here?
I asked for your address from Mikchan.
Mikchan?
Mitsuji-san.
Wait, why are you two friends now?
She told me over and over and over to forget about you.
Seriously, why are you here?
Listen, I've been rejected by 5 companies since then.
Whoa, harsh.
And there's a summer break at college.
It's that season, huh?
So I figured I need a change of pace. That's when I remembered that there's a Casanova who said he'd be fine with me taking me as a mistress.
Yeah, in a dream.
I don't think it was just a dream.
You sure about this? You're talking to a real wolf who looped around and snagged three women along the way.
Oh dear. I guess I gotta stay by your side, so I can kill you again.
Big words.
Well, do you think I've become a better woman?
I think you have poor taste.
Pot, meat, kettle.
Denying that would have pissed me off, so I said nothing.
Point for me, huh?
You know what? 1 to 10 can make the other do whatever they want.
Nope.
What?
I came here to break your rules. From now on, I want to give, not just get. You said that we'd become more and more insane if we're together, right? So I figured I'll be your enemy instead. I'll be your rival, or just a thorn in your side. What do you think, God?
How bold of you, human. She always smiled, stuck out her tongue, and ran off ahead of me. A cheerful, insane, weird girl. That was very scary and interesting. I'd play along. I'd catch up to her. Put this on then.
Is this Michan's?
I got the bike after we broke up. The helmet's new too.
I see.
What?
Give me one before I put this on. I've been holding back for so long.
Crap. What a surprise attack. If you're gonna say that, I guess I'll just do it. Just as she asked, I kissed her. Congratulations, you're now the 13th woman to be kissed by this guy.
Congratulations, you felt defeated by a kiss for the first time ever and revealed your score to try and save face.
Let's go.
Okay.
That's a cool image. That's cute.
Wow, this is comfy.
It's not that fast though. Put your legs on the step and hands on a belt or the frame.
Okay, this doesn't bring us too close, huh?
Don't bother me when I'm driving or we'll be knocking on heaven's door.
We're saving that for until tonight, huh? Woohoo! Well, that's only if you don't crash and die again.
I learned how to do some maintenance. Immediately use it in a book I'm writing.
You tend to become really uncool when you're too uppity. Keep that in mind.
Well, you keep in mind not to go on a random murder spree and kill me.
Ouch! That one hurt. I guess we also gotta keep in mind that we don't have any resets now, huh?
True. I turn on the engine. Let's go then.
Okay.
Gotta say, it was kind of hard to read the white text behind that white background, but alright. Just as the previous journey led to a dream we can no longer return to, this one would surely lead us to moments so great that they could never be repeated. And that, ladies and gentlemen, holy crap, has been Raging Loop. Boy, oh boy, is my voice sore. And I honestly still don't think I understood everything that this game threw at me. I am not gonna lie, I am still kind of confused about the whole, I'm still kind of confused about the Haru-chan and God thing. I don't know. I think I got the most of everything the game had to offer, but I'm not going to lie to you guys, I am going to look up things after this to make sure I understood it. This was a very, very interesting novel. Visual novel. I'm not sure how I feel exactly about it. Like, I loved the story, don't get me wrong. I'm trying to think more so of, like, was it satisfactory about the revelations, you know? Like, it's not supernatural, which is cool. I'm not saying that it has to be supernatural, but I guess maybe because like we spent so much time with these characters, and we find out some of these characters are like this and like that. It's like, what? Like, frankly, besides the whole thing with Haru-chan and the god thing, even I'm actually still confused about the looping aspect. Like, what did our ex and her company have to do with the sheep and looping, and like how the dream? I know that, you know, Rikako mentioned a whole like Tsuchigumu of dreams or whatever was within her powers, but how did it all intertwine? I'm a little unsure. There's absolutely no such things as werewolves. Apparently so. May they rest in peace. But no, this was a very, very interesting game. Thanks for playing the game. Thank you for making it. Good speed to good. Wait, did they mean Godspeed or right? Whatever. Thank you. Yeah, no, but overall, I still really did enjoy the story. Like, I'm glad I played it. I really am. Now, even though this is the finale of the main story and everything, oh, okay. Well, I wasn't gonna go into that, but what the hell is Revelation mode? By setting it on in the options, you can replay the game with additional thoughts and flashbacks by Haruaki, as well as added scenes from other characters' point of view. Bah, I'll be waiting there. Oh yeah, what happened to Miko? Yeah, she just left. I feel like that was a complete cop-out. Ending true. There's a hint corner for... Okay, well, we gotta watch it. And I guess this is supposed to be Mitsuji, so... Hey, Chief. Thank you for coming all this way. A long, long nightmare has finally ended. As an expert in dreams, I apologize for putting you through all that trouble, but none of this would have ever would have been resolved if it weren't for you. And I never believed that this would all end so cleanly. There was a casualty, but in his case, it seems like it's true that when they say heaven's judgment is slow but sure. Oh yeah, we don't care that the old man who cried wolf has died, so whatever. In instances like these, it's not uncommon for there to be people who are saved at some sad price. I sure as hell didn't expect her of all people to be saved when all said and done. How sad. How sad. I was set up. I was betrayed. Haruaki-sama, you foolish dummy. But how did you end up like this? The execution of Haruaki's contract should have been in time, in which case it should have just ended with you committing suicide. That is something neither me nor the main story I know. Have you no shame, Sheep-sama? You clearly know, do you not? Yeah. Well, I'm at a disadvantage, so let's move on to some explanations. What's that? It's already over, you say? Whoa there, Chief. Did you forget that Reaching Loop is a story of Haruaki Fusashi, the worst quitter in the world? The incident may be totally over, but there's still much for you to enjoy. Yes. Very tasteful content. Oh, look at, she's creepy now. Very tasteful content at that. Even I, who was tricked into the main story, agree with that. Hee. True ending. Lovey-dovey road trip with Chihime-chan. I know, I've been wondering this for a while, but who comes up with those titles? Me. You got a problem with that? No. By all means, continue. It would be rather tasteless for us to talk about the content of the ending here, so we explain solely about what happens next as the game. By reaching a true ending, you will unlock Revelation Mode. I think you can find Revelation Mode function in the options already at this point. It's off right now, but you can start it right away by switching it to on. Wow, and what will happen when you do? That was the flattest line read I've heard. By turning it on, revelation scenes will show up in the main story. Revelation scenes are various pieces of information outside of Haruaki's viewpoint that weren't shown in the main story. Mostly the emotions and conversations of other characters. 3 Yomi and 5 Wit in particular show the thoughts and secret actions of the wolves there, as well as the schemes of a certain mastermind throughout the entire main story. Hee. You okay there? Yes. For now, I can take off my mask as a fleeting and mysterious heroine to reveal my new appeal as a terrifying enemy full of malice. No, with you, it reveals a lot of sorts of moments of you being a klutz, an idiot, getting into lovers' quarrels, and being a closet pervert. Well, all of that has its own appeal. Revelation scenes contain all sorts of mysteries and marvels left out of the main story.
For example, this one. How did I end up as that thing in the darkness? Or, what was that living enigma Haruaki's enigma thinking deep down? It also details a shameful farce that Sheep-sama and Haruaki-sama kept playing over and over from the start.
Is your idea of a counterattack?
It is indeed. First of all, how dare you act as an interference character watching over the whole story from here with a straight face?
You're the last one I want to hear that from.
Exchanges like that between myself and Sheep-sama will also appear in the hint corners and such.
Also, by turning Revelation Mode on, the scenario chart will change slightly. It should already have shown up by now, but when you enter each route, there should be a star marks at each chapter square. The square indicates a chapter of Revelation scene. Make use of them if you really want to just read the Revelations.
Oh, but when I read, several of those star marks were colored in.
When you enter one of the marked chapters Revelation Mode set on, the hollow one becomes a colored one. Well, it's a helpful tool to find Revelation scenes you haven't seen yet. Incidentally, read TextScape will stop at unread Revelation scenes, so I recommend that for chiefs who only want to read the Revelation scenes.
I see. So you can fly right past parts we've already read and allow you to read only the Revelation scenes at your own pace, yes?
Yes, of course. If you want to reread the whole thing, that's to deepen the experience even further, but we'll leave the playing style up to the chief. However, keep in mind that red Revelation scenes are marked as red when you enter the chapter with the Revelation Mode on. It does not mean you have read all the Revelation scenes in a chapter, so be sure to read the chapter from beginning to end. Also, if you use the jump until the next choice function, all the Revelation scenes in between will be marked as red. Like with the non-Revelation scenes, please exercise caution there.
By reading Revelations scattered all across the story, you can enjoy playing Raging Loop one more time.
And there you have it. However, the fun doesn't stop there. It doesn't? There's more? Did you see the extra button on the side of the screen? I sure did. You'll find stories that serve as sequels of sorts to the main story. By completing the main story, extra is now unlocked and playable.
Well, when measured collectively, they're a decent length.
Yeah, for example, this one here is about the one pathetic life she lives after the main story.
Or what about the organization Sheep-sama belongs to and that mysterious little girl?
Pretty much. Go check them out if you're interested.
Incidentally, none of the 5 extra stories contain any Revelation scenes.
We would be happy if you would show everyone, including me, living their lives after the incident without secret some love. Well now, that explanation's got pretty long, huh?
So long as it does not tarnish reputation late in life, it's fine.
Don't talk like that in the end. Fortunately, everyone except the demonic geezer survived. Their stories will continue onwards. Same goes for the chief's reading this.
Everyone, please let my main story self and I flourish greatly in your minds. We do not mind how perverted it gets. Hee.
Your jokes aren't funny. Well, whatever. At any rate, with this, the case is closed. Ready to put this to bed?
Yes.
Thank you once again for playing Raging Loop.
My gratitude toward you deeper than the green of that mountain range.
Later, Chief. Farewell, everyone. Bye-bye. I have unlocked the media player. I can access the media player by opening the album and on the title screen opening the hint corner on the ending list, represented as the True Endings thumbnail picture. Wait, hold on. I open the album on a title screen and opening this hint corner on the... Okay. Oh my god. Incidentally, this is ending may also have a Revelation scene, or maybe it doesn't. For example, like this. So it does have a Revelation scene. I don't know. I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, I am pooped. I really am pooped. So like, so here are the endings. Oh, see, what the hell are those two on the right there? Oh, they gotta be like, there must be Revelation endings or whatever. So like, these are all the endings, right? These are all the bad endings. Oh, wait, I don't remember getting ending number 27. What the hell's this? Found the hidden hint and watched it. I was wondering, I was like, I know I didn't get ending 27. Whoa, I know the Easter egg for collecting only endings up here and all, but honestly, I've got nothing to say. What do we do?
Calm down.
At this point, all we can do is call everyone from the main story, surround the author, and have a post-game open discussion or something.
I thought we swore never to do that.
But we only got one choice. Rikako, strip.
What? It would be different if I volunteered, but you cannot say that.
Okay then, how about we go talk about the development of the game for a little bit?
Good idea.
Just a little bit. Well, wait. Okay, well, alright, let's read. I didn't know. Raging Loop is the 5th game in Kemco's visual novel series. Development started sometime in 2014. Okay. It began right at the start of the year. Right, there were talks about what should be done if they were going to do a new game. What proposals were they again?
A Death Game X Girl High School one, a sci-fi story of the bottom of the sea one, a sequel to the Confess and You'll Blow Up one.
Jeez. None of them were possible?
Oh no, they'll think about those if they get the chance.
I see. And out of all those ones, the ones that got the green light was the Turn Werewolf into a digital novel one, yeah?
Yes, Werewolf was getting popular at the time and had a deep connection to the series, so those were put together.
At the time, the idea was that there would be choices at every voting session and every usage of your ability.
It was considered rather difficult at the time, but in hindsight, that was just insane.
Well, in the end, after several shifts in objective, it was decided it should become made into a horror game featuring a Japanese-style werewolf where the rules factor heavily into the setting, and its concept brought into its current stage.
Also, after receiving all the feedback from the other games so far, they wanted to try making a story where everyone lives this time around, yes?
Oh, geez, in the other games, nobody... Oh, wow, okay. Yeah, to the point of adopting the supernatural phenomenon known as looping.
Was that the main reason for it?
Of course, part of it was also to match the objective of letting you play werewolf and with different guardians each time. However, its biggest purpose was to solve the paradox of how to end up with no deaths where the only one to do so or to prevent the incident from happening.
Paradox?
Yeah, because at first, the protagonist gets caught up in the incident with no clue what's going on, right? So to keep the incident from happening, the protagonist needs to know about the incident beforehand in a temporarily and spatially a plausible location.
I see. So that is the paradox.
Well, there are other methods considered, of course, such as changing characters or by making the ones running the feast the protagonists. Essentially, we would be making it so the crux of Werewolf of Death games in general, that is the mind games and the clash of emotions, were all for nothing.
True. After all, none of it would ever happen in the end.
Kemco has tried this sort of approach before, though, so they try to see if they couldn't solve it head on this time. They need a solution where all the murders and tragedies were treated as happening, and also the revised past to prevent the incident.
And that was the loop.
Right you are. I feel bad for the chiefs who were allergic to supernatural phenomenon, but it was from there that the story's intrigue was taken.
I see.
Incidentally, though the game incorporates a supernatural phenomenon, the Feast of the Yomi Purge is a man-made incident. Even the presence of God, which could allow for irrationalities, was presented not as a supernatural phenomenon, but a psychological one, making it just barely plausible. While even that supernatural phenomenon detail itself might all be a lie so long as its existence cannot be proven scientifically. The conditions for the activation of the supernatural phenomenon and the solution for the mysteries based on it were also meant to pin down the fun of the logical sections, and so it seems anyway.
It would be nice if we got some feedback on that, would it not?
Yeah, though I assume that any chiefs who read this probably came to accept it a while back.
I'll also thank you once again.
Yeah, thanks. And Raging Loop has turned out to be a big breakthrough, did it not? Yeah, not only did it have voice acting and vocal songs, well, not really because I was doing it, but still, it was also released for multiple platforms. No one thought it would be possible.
Because they had no money, how sad.
But the world's full of uncertainties. There were plenty of complications go along the way, but looking back on it, it was over. The scale was massive.
A substantial amount of voice acting, a theme song that perfectly complements the game and its story.
I love the theme song, by the way.
Also, it got an actual commercial console port and full voice acting to go along with it.
Don't force yourself all those unfamiliar words.
I've been blessed with such fortune. I can't talk. Hey, I cannot force myself even once. How sad.
The full voice acting added voices for the officer, his wife, and the old man Higuchi, right?
Not just them. Everyone in the extra stories also gets lively voices. They must be heard.
This is all one hell of a miracle, isn't it?
Half of it. The other half thanks to everyone who supported all the way to the end in spite of clumsiness and selfishness on numerous occasions.
Yeah, you know, that's exactly it.
I'd like to say I feel grateful that from the bottom of my heart that we got to meet.
Got that right. Now then, I believe you should have enough of this Easter egg.
I do feel reluctant to say goodbye.
It's alright. There are all sorts of things put together at the Kemco Adventure Portal website, you know? Our return will come again in some sort of special content or something. We'll see you again there, Chief.
I'm looking forward to that.
Me too. And with that, it's time to say goodbye. Farewell. Bow. By the way, for those of you who think there are more Easter eggs than just this, surely you must be wondering about the two. Yeah, I am wondering about those two boxes. Those are the true Easter eggs, paths to potential what-ifs that can only be seen by those who truly want them. Maybe? There isn't a single hint of where they're located, not even on a scenario chart. Good luck looking for them. Oh, so please don't be surprised when the events of those bonus endings turn out to be way too different from the atmosphere of the main story. Now then. So they're not even going to tell me where the hell those two are located. Well, it almost seems like there's going to be weird endings, right? So I would assume they're going to be toward the end of the scenario chart. Where? I have no idea. Now here's the gallery. These pictures were just straight up awesome to see. I mean, some of them are, I mean, this one of Haruaki is pretty damn cool. Seeing Rikako like that is insane. The other one is even worse. Yeah, her being like that is like, ugh. I'm going to assume those three are related to the endings, or the bonus, whatever. I like this too. This seems like some type of promotional art they would have had for the game. This is like all of them during the feasts. Now look at that. There's also a couple of these missing too. There's two of them. Okay, so there's that. If we go under extra. So these are extra stories. Oh man, am I gonna read the extra stories? Huntress versus Bear, Blockhead versus Final Boss, Rider versus Mystery Station, Boy and Girl versus In from Hell, Sheep versus Stack of Reports. Oh man. I feel like I have to. Excuse me. I don't know how long they are, though. I mean, this has been a hell of a finale. There's Revelation mode. So I turn that on. So let me see something here. Where do I go? Let me go to the autosave here. Okay, so it just goes. Hold on. So, is it trying to tell me if anything with stars? So there's nothing at the start. Oh man, that. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Oh, you gotta be really kidding me. These stars are everywhere. I thought they would have been, like, spread out a little bit. No. Like, not at all. Oh. Oh, jeez. I was thinking of just going through them really quick and just showing the revelation scenes, but this seems like a lot. Okay, so you guys are gonna hate me, all right? Because I feel like I covered the game sufficiently. What I'm gonna do, I'll have a bonus video finding those secret endings, because, and I may look up where the hell they are, straight up, because I'm curious what the hell they are. I'll have a bonus video of that, and depending on how long those extra stories are, maybe I'll cover those as well. But seeing all those revelation scenes, even with the text skip and all that, I don't know if I have it in me at the moment. All I know is right now, I am exhausted. This has been like 3.5 hours of recording that I did just continuously. My voice is pretty much gone. I am tired. I didn't realize it was going to take that long. I hope you guys enjoyed Raging Loop. That's really all I gotta say. I hope you all really enjoyed it. Stay tuned for the bonus videos. But besides that, thank you for watching my Let's Play of Raging Loop. It was a hell of a ride. I'm happy I played it. I'm curious if there's any other games like this. Maybe not so much in a kinetic visual novel sense. Like, I want to have more gameplay stuff to do. But we'll see. Stay tuned for where the hell I plan to LP next. Love you all so much. Have a great day.